What's going on, troopers? Welcome to the Trooper Transmission. And today we've got one of my favorite people that I've ever met and worked with, Caressa Basham Schramer, all the way from California. Appreciate you coming on to talk about all things fitness, Fit Nerd Academy, nerding out. And we just met down in Anaheim last week. That was a good time.
That was awesome. Super cool.
Yeah, being able to work out with you and your family and talk about Star Wars and lunges, like it was the best. So let's crank it on back to when we initially connected. This would have been probably December, I want to
Mhm.
say 2023. So what inspired you to reach out and eventually join Delta Squad, which is probably the best squad I've seen come through the academy?
I'm not going to dispute that. We're awesome. Well, we'll dial it way back. I gained a bunch of weight in college, like a lot of folks do, and I've kind of spent the last couple decades losing and gaining the same 10 to 15 pounds over and over again. I probably tried every celebrity trainer workout that's ever hit the market. I've tried every diet plan that worked for one person to see if it would work for me. But if I got any results, they were so minimal that it wasn't, relative to the amount of effort I was putting in. And I couldn't sustain it because, I'm a working parent, I'm an adult, I've got stuff to do. So working out huge amount of times or a huge amount of time doing a really extreme diet, it just isn't sustainable for me. So it got to the point where I realized it had been a really long time since I felt good in my body. I was having autoimmune symptoms. My energy was really, really low. And I realized that I was avoiding taking photographs. And with a young child, how is that fair to her to not have family photos or photos with her parents? And I decided that I can't continue like this. My quality of life is just bottoming out. So I ran across your channel. I was searching on YouTube for Star Wars workouts because I need something fun to keep me interested and motivated.
Yeah.
And yours was the only channel that was aimed at folks older than 6 years old. So I started following, and by the time you started recruiting for Delta, I was like, you know what, I need to check this out and see what's can come of this.
Yeah, that's awesome that you came in through the YouTube channel and are like, because I've spent a lot of time seeing what else is out there. And if you type Star Wars workouts, those kid workouts come up, and I'm doing everything I can to rank somewhat high. But it's just so interesting to see how people come into the ecosystem and it's not a trap that I set up, but the honey pot is exactly how you were supposed to find it. Hey, Star Wars workouts. Oh, there's a community with it. Perfect. Let's learn about it. And so as you were joining or getting ready to join, was there any concerns that you had, or were you just like full gung ho, let's do this, not a care in the world?
I mean, honestly, my biggest concern was my own self. I always have an exit strategy, a contingency plan. So when life gets to be overwhelming, or I get bored, I can back out. I can walk away, no harm, no foul. And so this was the first time that I was going to be committing to something longer. I mean, I've never stuck with a fitness program longer than 6 weeks. So to commit to something that's multiple months, that's an investment of time and energy and financials, that was super scary to know that once I got going, I was not going to be able in good faith to back out and walk away. So not being able to quit was terrifying, but I've learned that I can do really cool things if I don't have the option to quit. So it's been a really cool life lesson.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think it's a cool way to just kind of burn the boats, or like that metaphor of like burn the bridge, burn the boats. And it's like, I'm not going back to that old me because I don't know what's ahead, but I know what's behind me, and that's not where I want to be. So it's cool that you experienced that and that you're still experiencing that. And as you've gone through Fit Nerd Academy, one, you've seen incredible results, and it's been super cool to watch your journey and the work you've done with Marcos, Coach Marcos. What would you say are some of the biggest lessons or things that you've learned that have helped you see the changes or recognize, different perspectives to get to where you are now mentally, physically, um, as a holistic person?
I think, like, first and foremost, show up. However you can, show up and do the workout, follow your fitness plan as best you can that day, and not like a half-assed, like, this was my best, but give it your all for that day. And some days it might be nailing your macros and you get, big wins on your workout. Other days you're just doing the bare minimum body weight because you're exhausted, but you show up and you do it. And for me, especially in the first month, the information you provide about alter egos and tapping into your inner hero was huge. That was something that I really pulled from. So, I show up and go, you know what, I don't really feel like exercising today. I'm not in the mood. But it's like, well, what would Cal Kestis do? What would Chirrut Imwe do in this super stressful situation? How would I handle it? And then, it ended up going, okay, how am I going to complete this rep? Am I going to, fake it? What if Captain Rex was recruiting for the 501st and this was my final test? How would I show up? And then eventually it became, how would I do this? Would I put in the extra effort if Coach Marcos was sitting there next to me cheering me on? Um, so then, to have that opportunity with Coach Marcos last week was super rad because it was like, fantasy come to life. But that really, what you put in is what you're going to get out of it. And that for me was huge because I've never put in so much effort consistently. But then once you start getting results, it's addicting and you can't stop. You just want to keep showing up and keep seeing what your body and what your mind can do.
Yeah. And you were someone who right away gravitated to the challenges that we do. It's been
Mhm.
super fun. Your call sign is I think now your major, so your major
Mhm.
plank. And talk a little bit about how fun or maybe not fun some of the challenges are, and just kind of what it's like knowing that, yeah, you've got your personalized plan, but then you've also got these badges and these challenges and these competition versus other troopers. Like, how has that helped in any way with through like the entire process?
I mean, again, it makes it fun. It gamifies it. And it's amazing how motivated we are by getting stickers. Like, I don't know, it's like that little kid where you're like, dude, I just want that sticker, that star. And so because I'm just kind of an extra person, I bring extras. So whether it's push-ups in the snow or like, hey, I wonder if I can do a 5-minute plank. Like I was just sharing my wins a couple of weeks before that I got a 1-minute plank. And then it's like, well, let's see what I can do. And then it just becomes this extra, heavy metal plank thing that I started, and then all of Delta's doing it, and it's super fun. So I love it. It's super motivating.
Yeah. It's honest, I'll be honest. You doing push-ups in the snow, aka Hoth, was probably the highlight of the challenges so far this year because no one has been that committed to get the work done. I'm sure at some point we'll do like a pull-up challenge and that someone will do pull-ups from like a tree in South America. But until then, like you take the cake on using your environment no matter what. That was super cool to see. And so obviously still got, you know, a lifelong of journey of fitness and so many things to learn and grow into. But over the last 4 or so months, what would you say like your three keys to success are, and what's helped you see these big changes that maybe you haven't seen previously? And what would you say to maybe a friend or a younger version of yourself that like, hey, focus on these few things and you're going to see a lot in the results department?
I mean, I think just again taking that first step, investing in yourself. Like we invest so much into our homes, our children, our pets, our jobs, and a lot of times we're the ones left, on the sidelines, and you deserve it. So anyone who's watching, I give you permission to invest in yourself and to find your happiness in your own skin, in your own mind, you know, do it and then show up and do the work and follow your plan. And I mean, I've unlocked a whole new level of like self appreciation and self love that I didn't even know I was capable of. So it's super cool. So, take that first step and do it, and then you'll just keep rolling. Um, the second thing that has been huge for me is using our resources. Like Fit Nerd Academy, there's so much knowledge there with you, Paul, and Coach Marcos. Like you guys have so much knowledge of fitness and nutrition. sleep, self-care, that it would just be a shame. Again, get a return on your investment, ask questions. I brought up a random question where I was half joking about my digestion, and it totally led to something that's changed my whole life in how I eat. Then you've got, of course, the recipe packs, the coaching calls, the Q&As. There's just so much knowledge there to support you on your journey that it's going to make life so much easier if you reach out and take advantage of everything that's available. Um, and then third, I would definitely say embrace and engage in the community. Um, it is honestly the most supportive, positive, and inclusive group that I've ever had the privilege of being a part of. And it is truly a privilege and an honor to be there with that group of folks. And that was another deciding factor for me, like why I reached out was I don't really have a tribe um, in real life. So the thought of connecting with other Star Wars nerds who are all looking to be healthy and feel good was such a draw. And it hasn't disappointed. Like we're all there sharing our wins and reaching out for help when we're having difficulty. And it's amazing. Like the battle cry goes out and the troops rally and they will come and lift you up. And it's so awesome. And then on the flip side, to have someone cheering for you, if you don't have a cheering squad, if you're not feeling supported by your family or your circle, having someone there to cheer on your wins is so motivating and so amazing. So whether it's Delta Squad or Echo, all the folks in there, you guys are all family now. And I love it. It's amazing. It's an amazing group of people.
Yeah. Yeah. I love how Star Wars and fitness are probably the two most toxic things you can find on the internet.
Yeah.
And yet we've like two negatives are making this super positive where I have yet to see in a year of running the community something negative. And I think it
Mhm.
just goes to speak like there's awesome people like you putting in the work and supporting other people. I always tell people one win, someone might share a shirt that they got at Disneyland, and then someone else lost 20 pounds, and then someone 3D printed a helmet, and then someone finished watching Fallout. That's an Easter egg for you, because I know you're a big Fallout fan. And it's just like everyone's happy for everything the same. And
Yeah.
it's super cool to see. And it's people like you that make the community awesome and make every single day so fun. And so I know this month we've got the unlimited powder challenge, and I have no doubt that you're going to crush it and tap into your Darth Gainer. And so I look forward to seeing you. Honestly, probably collect all the badges. You'll probably be the first person to reach general in Fit Nerd Academy, and at that point, I might just hand the reins over to you, and you can
you
be a
know,
4-star general.
I'm going to try. I'm going to
Yeah,
try.
why not? Try it. I love it. Caressa, thank you so much for the time. Thanks for sharing your story and inspiring others. Honestly, inspiring me because the way that you approach things is how I wish everyone would approach life, and it's awesome to watch.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, take care.